So there was no reason for me to give up at that juncture. So it was just a sense of mission that kept me going. I incorporated MYO. Wow, but the hit, I will never forget the rest of my life. So I always have a different mountain to climb. But it's, she was just sharing, it is because you are more aware now. Because you're expecting more now. You want to, there's a desire to the you're no longer a hobbyist. People are paying you money, good money to hear you sing, and you have to deliver. And I just recall, because my the groom was a good friend of mine, I still had to report for the wedding, yeah. The groom was walking down the aisle. He was crying, he was tearing, he was so happy to wed the love of his life at that juncture, right? And then, I only could remember standing there and thinking, how nice. Like, that's what love is supposed to be, and that's what, a celebration should be. But I was bleeding inside, so I had to turn away, I had to look away. I couldn't be in that moment to be happy for him. And I was very, very upset at myself. But fast forward to today, it was at that juncture I told the universe, I will find a man that will cry and feel so happy and grateful to call me his wife. And last November, I found a man like that. And we got married, and we were a mess walking down the aisle, we were both crying so badly. And we are doing life together now. Yeah.
So welcome to another episode of Behind Closed Doors. Today we have our really interesting guest, which is Vanessa from MYO Entertainment.
Hey, hi.
So I've known Vanessa for quite some time now. She's done a wonderful, interesting business, helping others, have a really wonderful event. She hosts events. She does a great job at it, and I think she brings a really wonderful warmth to the whole atmosphere, which helps everybody connects. And brings back good memories from events, from gatherings and whatnot, for companies as well as for families as well, right?
That's right.
Yeah, let's hear a fuller introduction from Vanessa herself.
Hey guys, I'm Vanessa, and I'm also known as the Songbird MC. So Songbird MC Van in the industry. So like what Faz mentioned, I do events. So my company is called MYO. So MYO is the Japanese equivalent of the word meow. It also means magical. I want to create memorable moments that, puts a smile on people's faces.
Oh, so is that more of a communication kind of
It is.
thing?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
The next C that you came up with. So it's communication and confidence. Yes, exactly.
Awesome. So Vanessa, maybe you can tell us a bit more about how you started. How did all this begin?
Wow. So MYO was founded right smack COVID, and it was the craziest period because events, entertainment, performing, everything came to a crazy stop. It was a standstill, right? And we not only had no income at that juncture, but we had to dig into our savings also because everybody was in a frantic mode, right? Yeah. All the deposits that were paid to us, please hold the date for us, confirm kind of situation. Everybody was, a good amount of people were frantic and they wanted their deposits back. But deposits, as the world knows, should be non-refundable, right? Because we've already blocked out our time, there's opportunity cost, etc. But out of goodwill, I do know of some people whom, like me, did return the deposits and whatnot. But there was a reasonable discussion as well. Some of our couples or corporates, they are happy to hold the deposit for a while first. And then when the world gets better, we will still engage with our service. But it was a crazy period. So we cannot... I chose not to fight our couples who are already feeling it's the end of the world, I kind of think I can't have my wedding this year, etc. Especially when their wedding happens to fall in right smack circuit breaker. But I remember circuit breaker was April 2020. If we incorporated the company thereabouts May 3rd, right? And I remember it was about May 5th, 20th or something, right? Like towards the end, like it was an extension of the circuit breaker. I just remember looking at the TV, looking at our Prime Minister and tearing to myself. Like, I did not rest at all during circuit breaker because I saw that, our community of performers, everybody was dying. It was just like headless, like we were like all like headless flies, not sure what to do. But I had a very loving community of business owners who were so willing to share with me, hey, like this is exactly the time we need to all rally, we need to all gather our resources, leverage on each other's superpowers and strengths, and let's do more together. So there was no reason for me to give up at that juncture. So it was just a sense of mission that kept me going. I incorporated MYO. Oh, but the hit, I will never forget the rest of my life. Hearing to myself, to the TV, and like, how much longer? Like, you're gonna have to do a lot of censoring of profanities because how much longer can I really hold on, any longer? And now that I think back at it, it was also a good 6 months where hosting can come back. So it was 6 months of no income, and I have to dig into my savings to pay people back. Exactly, like hosting will come back after 6 months. We virtual bands maybe about say 7 months, 8 months into COVID, right? It was a dark time, yeah. Sense of and purpose.
Oh,
yeah.
So that's how you started.
Yep.
So what was your inspiration actually to start this as a business? Like, were you doing something before this in the same line? Then you converted into business?
Right. Yeah. I joined an arts management company. So it was a very small team. So essentially, Saikang warrior lah, must do everything from pitching for jobs, writing proposals, going to the schools to teach, etc. So I really, really honed my skills by really being thrown into the deep blue to do every single thing that's entertainment, or what we call educational, edutainment. So through means of entertainment, we educate as well. So we were working for people like the likes of LTA, MOM, etc. Putting up light-hearted performances, we are sharing something educational to our audiences. And to me, I thought, wow, that was a great mission because it is exactly the power of the performing arts to send hope, to send cheer to whoever that's watching. So I think from there, like after that, after I left the company, I started doing more and more on my own. To be honest, I don't know whether is it like there's just too many different bad memories, that's etched in my, or like causing like little gaps clouding up my head. But I don't remember when I first came out of the company, right? A lot of people will be struggling, or from full time I jump out, right? I become self-employed. There will be a period of struggle, stress, and whatnot. I don't remember that, to be very honest. I must have been very, very blessed by the people around me, right, who were very willing to take a chance on me, know that I have been bringing certain skills or talent to the plate, right? When I transitioned from being, part of an arts management company to being self-employed, a host, a singer, someone who wrote creative works and whatnot, I don't recall struggling too hard. So it was from there that I was like, hey, actually I can make a living out of this. I am doing pretty well. I have amazing business owners who are guiding me on things. Hey, maybe I need to do something. When my industry, people around my little community were struggling so hard, did not have a business coach, did not have anybody to talk to. If they felt like they could trust me, they want to talk to me, if this is my little part to play, I will do it.
Oh, I see. Oh, interesting, eh?
Yeah.
So, but when you first started, right? Other than COVID during that time, right? Were there any other like big challenges that you face?
Actually,
maybe not the worst ones yet, but like generally, like when you start, consider as a startup, right? Yeah. So like maybe like the stuff that you faced.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we don't dive off the cliff yet, right?
Yeah.
Let's just talk about like the daily struggles. As a solopreneur, there is a lot. The learning curve was crazy steep, right? But like I said, having a community, which I'm so immensely grateful for, right? It means I have people around me who have walked the talk, who has struggled my incumbent struggles, they have all of you. There's so much wealth. There's a wealth of knowledge to help me, or at least provide a bit of padding when they see that, okay, Van is gonna knock the wall already, that kind of thing. Maybe let her go and knock a bit so that she can learn and whatnot. But yeah,
Not too hard, lah.
correct. But there were it's very scary. To me, accounting is the numbers. Numbers really scare me. There could be many things that I can be proud of, but numbers is not one thing. I mean, like, my accountant is here, right? So I still remember 2 years back, like, even doing personal tax, every April is a scary moment for me because personal tax must own self file already, right? So yeah, I think not proud. I think that, like, I evaded as much as long as I could, and one of us was like, okay, I cannot hide from it anymore. So I had people who guide me step by step, the accounting superheroes, or my corp sec also, when I transitioned from a sole prop to a private limited. I cannot begin to express how terrifying it is, like, to have, like, documents I need to vet through and whatnot. If there were not the fact that these established business owners around me who have simplified things so crazily for me already, like, IT scares me. Okay, I have Pulse Fusion. I have people in my community that supports me, If not for the fact that I had trustworthy people, I think the journey would have been a lot harder.
How has the business evolved? I mean, generally from then until now, it's like the amount of stress then, the amount of stress now. Is it better now?
No. I don't know if it will ever get better, to be honest. I mean, it just feels like, so back then, I remember thinking to myself, I used to enjoy singing so much. I asked my vocal coach as well, like, I used to enjoy singing so much. It was so simple, so carefree, so easy. But why is it that as I progress, right, as I grow older, why is it harder and harder? Like, it feels like I always have a different mountain to climb. But it's, she was just sharing with me as well that, like, it is because you're more aware now. Because you're expecting more now. You want to, there's a desire that it's not, you're no longer a hobbyist. People are paying you money, good money, to hear you sing, and you have to deliver. So it's the standards. Yeah, I guess it could be self-imposed standards as well, but I think it feels almost due diligence as well, that we must keep doing better, right? So if not, then every year, then there's no reason why our rates should go up. I always tell people in my community, we are collectively trying to up everybody's rates together, but that's one of the scariest things, like, can I really up my rates? Really, like, what if I got no clients after that? But it is a quiet confidence because I am working so tremendously hard on my craft. I absolutely deserve that, and I need to make sure that I position myself correctly. That's the thought process. I mean, from all the education that I've had, from all the business discovery sessions, I've had with my amazing community of business owners. So, like, I might go on and on about this, having a community and what it means to me, because I'm a huge beneficiary of it. I firmly believe that I cannot do this myself. I really can't. I really cannot. I would have folded long ago if I had not, had so much support from many people around me.
All right, cool. So I think I would have to ask you this lah. As an accountant, right? As your accountant, I always see the numbers that you produce tell the stories of your business. So how about for you, what are numbers that you actually pay attention to? It could be on a daily basis, it could be on a weekly or even monthly basis, or if you don't really have time to look at it, maybe on an annual basis, right? But what are the key numbers that you look at?
That is another thing that, had I not, had a team that reminded me how important numbers were, right? I remember, like, I call Coach Faz, right? Because, being in the Monsters of the Deep program, the MOTD program, also, I keep hearing things as different business owners in the community, they would share their struggles, and when I'm learning as well from all their experiences, and I just keep hearing, your numbers won't lie. Your numbers are golden. It will tell you everything you need to know about your business, whether you like it or not, right? So the numbers that I learned that I had to pay attention to, okay, for example, if I had 2 divisions, right? So back when it was right smack COVID, what corporate event? Corporate was non-existent, right? So it was entirely celebrations, personal weddings. I think that the weddings, then slowly the parties could come back and whatnot. But I think parties and anniversaries, all these personal parties could, because it was like, I think slowly, when the rules relaxed, we're going to be up to 50 packs, something like that. So like the personal parties came back, but corporate also slowly but surely came in. So I saw the numbers slowly grow from celebrations taking up like 70% of like, like, or even 100%, then it became 70 because corporate slowly came back, right? Until I think the greatest surge was from 2022. I think that was like, so second year into COVID. First year in, people were still a bit cautious and whatnot, right? But second year onwards, that was when, revenge spending. I've been like so, inhibited. Now is the time to let go. Let it go. Let it go, indeed, right? So they were spending a lot of money on corporate celebrations. Like the owners, like, I owe you a D&D. I will give you back a D&D kind of thing, right?
Let's make it a big one.
Yeah, it was 1 times good one, man. Like, so it was a really, really big year for corporate. So 2022 to 2023, there was immense growth. Actually, up to 2024. So these 3 years, it was growing quite a fair amount because marketing started to come back with activations as well, right? Because, well, it's probably not just enough to run online campaigns and whatnot. There are physical, people still yearn this human touch, right? So physical activations were still a good way, like the product launches or like having a road show for various kinds of services or goods. It still had to happen. People need that touch and whatnot to remember you by, and also it's a multi-pronged approach. So corporate grew from, I think I think in 2024, that was where we were close to 500,000. That was the peak, right? But yeah, I mean, there's an ebb and flow. Like 2025, I was also sharing with Faz that like it was 100K down. So like it was a big dip in my opinion. Yeah. So many things just kept coming in to remind me that, hey, running a business is not that easy, like, so some people, they'll be like, okay, on your 5th year is inevitable because you are thinking, should I expand exponentially or should I just stay wherever I am comfortably, will do and all. There was a lot to think about and I really could not have done it alone lah.
This podcast has been brought to you by Accounting Superhero, your trusted zero and SME compliance partner in Singapore and Malaysia. Switch up to Accounting Superhero today.
So if it will be safe we say you would have looked at like total revenue figures, like total sales, and you mentioned the split between the two divisions, right? So that means you probably look at like apart from absolute figures, maybe percentage of the split. Right?
Yeah, it became a very clear. So it was then 50-50 and then 70%. And then I think the last 2 years has been 80%, to be honest, for on corporate side. Because the ticket items were simply bigger compared to a personal celebration. But we were still not giving up on doing, and of course, like, as advice or as I learned, our rates need to constantly, like, with every year's growth and every year's hard work, it has to, the rates have to raise, right? So when we raise our rates, the ticket item becomes bigger, but the volume will actually shrink a little bit, right? So running a business also means it's not just on my numbers, it also means our associates, our collaborators coming in and boosting numbers together and growing everybody's rates together lah.
Would it be safe to say, by looking at these numbers, your financial reports and all that, does it help you with making decisions?
Oh, yes. If I did not have numbers to back me up or a person I could ask about numbers, I might just be very blindly spending. I think, okay, if leads are drying out, okay, pay money for ads, pay money for lead gen and whatnot. But lead gen where? So many different avenues and so many experts, that here, like, give me your money, I'll give you, I'll help you reach out to how many people, those sort of packages. There are so many grants that's all around also, but what is most suitable for me at this current juncture? What grant to what percent do we get our reimbursements, etc.? Numbers are scary, but numbers tell.
And to what extent it actually translates to results for you, right? Especially when you're prepared to spend, but the results actually matters a lot, right?
For sure.
Yeah, cool. there are, of course, some of us as business owners, or maybe we all started in this way, right? We probably do our numbers once a year, right? Once a year, and then we get it done, compliance, and then we're done, right? So, what's your view on that? Like, do you think it's still relevant, or do you think it should be done more to actually help you in your business decision making, perhaps?
I mean, even if experts, the accounting superheroes coming in, it was still dreary to some extent because they'll be asking us questions. Hey, Van, this one where, like, can you reconcile this? Has this been paid? Blah, blah, that kind of thing. Can you imagine if I were doing it myself? So that's out of the window, right? So I have to, I need a good team to help me to facilitate that process. But yeah, if I were to wait, your question again, which is
doing it once a year,
yeah,
or
No,
doing it in between.
yeah. So I've been advised to at least monthly do our P&L, right? So I would understand this month because being blind about trends, right? So I mean, coach also shared with us before that understand. So if you do it month on month, for example, that there's something to compare. So the year before on April, the year now, like in 2026, how are you doing? Is it if you were red, for example, on certain months, are you still red, or are we actually reaping some rewards? Like, we're gathering our ammo for, you will always tell us when it's a lull period, that's when you're preparing for your winter. You need to like start gathering your nuts and whatnot, right? For the next peak, right? So how do you prepare? So if this year, during the lull, I prepared for it from last year, for example, like, the numbers will tell me if am I reaping the rewards lah. Yeah, so I think I am striving my very utmost, a bit guilty sometimes, right? To have an understanding of my numbers end of the month lah. Yeah.
Anyway, it's a process lah. Right? So I think it's great that your view is already towards like making sure that you can see trends, because I think that's a point which I think is really, really relevant to all business owners out there. Looking at your trends, comparing it against last year, even doing simple things like making sure that within that year you are very cognizant of important milestones, within each month. Maybe if you want to do promotions, marketing efforts, know what's going on. Like maybe there's National Day, maybe there's certain holidays or something. This can actually push your business forward if you do the right things at that time, lah. Yep. Yeah, awesome, man. All right, let me maybe go into the partnership you have with Accounting Bureau, and maybe with MOTD as well. So how do you first hear about us, and what made you decide to work with us?
Going back to this community that I've mentioned so much, right? So it was in a business networking community that I got to know about the accounting superheroes, and yeah, distinction brought a lot of good folks into my life, and to which I can only continuously express gratitude for, right? So when I first got to know the accounting superheroes, it was I remember I had another COPSEC that incorporated MYO, right? Because we haven't met each other yet. It was a year before, a year after that I got to know. But it was also a good period, I think, on the third year, second to third year. So that was when I was thinking, okay, I think it's time to I checked with you, I believe. So proud versus private limited. How do we know when to take the plunge, right? And I think you shared some things with me, and then I was like, okay, I think it is. We both feel like, okay, it is a good time. Let's go for it. And I think it's just a lot of confidence that the team being always ready to share information. Like, I'm really not good with numbers, right? So I think my relationship with the previous COPSEC versus the accounting superheroes, it was just slowly but surely tilting over, because I felt more comfortable asking things, and then clearing my doubts and all. And that was when I decided, okay, I will take the plunge to private limited, and with a lot more accounting, with a lot more like admin and whatnot to do, but yet feeling more assured that the team's got me covered. And then MOTD adopted. So another community for me to also learn from each other's experiences and all. The fact is, every business has ebb and flow, right? So ups and downs, and there's always a learning lesson. some people have taken the road less traveled, 25 years and all, versus 5 years that like you are the community or the MOTD folks, they're always trying to make sure that we don't just plunge into the deep blue ourselves. Yeah. So the analogy of us becoming monsters despite being in the deep blue, it resonates very much with me. I'm a diver. I love the land and the whatever is there to explore beneath the surface. So yeah, it really just spoke to me, and I'm really, really grateful for all the support I've gotten.
So far, has the experience been okay?
Oh yeah, more than okay, of course. Like, so if there are also, so I've also met business owners who'll be like, I haven't met like accountants, for example, that can guide me in my business. They just start things for me, and then you also run lor, kind of situation. But I have very happily, very, with great gratitude, right, shared about like, my accountants know the struggles that I've been through. And if you think, because it's ultimately all about alignment, right? Not everybody will align. Like, the team doesn't have infinite time to pick everybody and anybody as well. So there must be alignment of some sorts. But if what worked for me can work for you, I will pass you this little card for you to tap and see whether you want to enter this world that I'm in also.
Cool. We work a lot we are heavily invested in Zero. Zero, the accounting software for SMEs, right?
Yeah.
We're very big on that. I think recently we also became a platinum partner.
Yeah.
Thanks to support of all of our clients as well. How has your experience been using Zero?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. I believe there's still a lot of functions of Zero that I'm not aware of or properly using. Can send quotes, can send invoice. That's my primary, right? But I think year, maybe towards the end of years, I forgot. As in somebody from the team will check in. Hey, Van, do you know that you actually can do this? I said, nope, did not know. Right? So I'm always learning different functions that can support us in our business. The dashboard, like before it was reconcile and whatnot, like it's just, it seems like there's a lot coming in, but really, is it really going to the bank? For example, like all these absolute numbers are good knowledge, and I will confess, I don't spend a lot of time. It's only when I need to do P&L and I go inside and have a look and whatnot. But then actually, I can do P&L on Zero, right?
Yeah. So just
I can bring it on Excel and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, like if the team is not worried about vomiting blood, teaching a person that's not good with numbers how to do P&L on Zero, I would love to. Just one shot, one place, save time.
And so far yourself, like for you to actually go and log into the system or access it via your phone, so far okay? Is it easy enough?
I don't usually use it on my phone. I would be on the laptop because it's just easier. That way the interface might be a bit friendlier on the eyes. Also because my phone no space. Yeah, so like I usually do it on the laptop and all. And we also have a team member that's watching the invoicing and quotations for us also. So yeah, having good help, and sometimes they are independent as well. So we have a group chat, our helpline with the accounting superheroes. Whenever our colleague, my colleague who is handling the invoicing and quotations has any issues, I've told him to please check in because I have no answers. I can be good at many things. I always tell him that but numbers is not one of them. So please ask the experts, the superheroes. Yeah.
I think it's really wonderful. Like despite like you say numbers not your thing, but you're no longer afraid or so stressed up with it in that sense.
So to my personal text, I was looking through Francis' message. Okay, this one, okay, so okay. I hope all's good.
Okay, now let's delve a bit deep into this part where we call it the no good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay. So I wanna ask you, like, was there a point in time in your business journey, right, that it was actually very difficult? This is where you really hit the wall, and you hit the wall again and the wall again. Like it's so traumatizing, that even now when you think about it, it still gives you like stress bouts, yeah. What happened if you have such a occurrence? What happened, and how you felt at that point in time?
I don't think it was the business per se, because I mean we're only like 5 years in. But I think one of the biggest turning points of my life was actually at the roughly about the juncture that I started MYO. So it was the exact year. So COVID hit 2020, right? So it was that exact year that that year was just inexplicably tough now that you've mentioned it. Incorporating a company right smack a global pandemic
Yeah.
was insanity. But what almost drove me off the cliff was the fact that I'm in an entertainment business. I do weddings and I do celebrations. But my own personal celebration, so I was about to be wed in 2020 as well, end of year. It was supposed to be a Christmas wedding. Right? So but long story super short, the then groom decided that 3 months prior in September, after being my pillar of support, after like weathering through the toughness of COVID and whatnot, I mean, he supported me in incorporating a company. I supported him in his business as well, because he was a financial planner. So there was just so much roughing out, and then I thought, we weathered it through and all. But 3 months prior to the wedding, he dropped a bomb and said that he wasn't very sure. And 1 month prior to the wedding, he called it off.
Oh.
Yeah. So I had no way of fighting back at all. It was just a series of, like iron cast pans just smacking me time and time again, about how inadequate I was and how terrible, how lousy of a person I was, like it's all my fault. I just remember it felt like I was being called into the principal's office. You were not good, you were not enough on many, many levels. And it was because of me that things had to end. So at that juncture, when the business was so fresh, right? And this law, I mean, my therapist tells me that it was a big lorry that came out of nowhere, that rammed into me. There's no way I could survive that hit and not be battered all over. So I still recall I did not let any of my couples down. I did not want to, because of a personal reason, swap to another person, or but maybe as a result, I pushed myself too hard. Like I would be singing love songs, I cannot listen when my couples were doing their vows, their thank you speeches and whatnot. Like, I'm so grateful to have met you, that kind of thing. That pain was inexplicable. And I pushed myself all the way to the end of, I remember there was a December 31st wedding dinner. After that dinner, I was hospitalized. I finished my entire peak period bout of weddings, and I couldn't take it anymore, and I was hospitalized. At that juncture, maybe because the business was just starting, I really wondered whether can I still survive? Can I still continue to do anymore? Can I still pick weddings? Can I still function? Because to me, being authentic is extremely important. If I cannot authentically be myself, right, and to celebrate in my couple, celebrate in my corporates, I mean, what is a memorable moment if I cannot be in that moment or be real at it? So there was a lot of self-judgment, self-hate. You faker lah. How can you be singing a love song, tearing, faster wipe your tears and continue singing at the juncture? So I couldn't face myself at that juncture. It was already a lot of heartache, heartbreak, because he actually, I remember on one of my closest, as in, I had a very good friend. His wedding is on I think 10th of December or 12th of December. So sorry that it was just a dark period at that juncture, right? And I remember one day waking up, coming up from my room, and then I saw a lot of boxes in the living room. He actually didn't have the courage to meet me up or ask me to go and pick my things and whatnot. He dumped things in the box and dumped it at my house.
Oh.
Yeah. And I just recall, because my the groom was a good friend of mine, I still had to report for the wedding. Yeah. The groom was walking down the aisle. He was crying, he was tearing, he was so happy to wed the love of his life at that juncture, right? And then I only could remember standing there and thinking, how nice. Like, that's what love is supposed to be, and that's what, a celebration should be. But I was bleeding inside, so I had to turn away, I had to look away. I couldn't be in that moment to be happy for him. And I was very, very upset with myself. But fast forward to today, like, it was at that juncture I told the universe, I will find a man that will cry and feel so happy and grateful to have to call me his wife. And last November, I found a man like that. And we got married, and we were a mess walking down the aisle, like we were both crying so badly. And we are doing life together now. Yeah. So that was a huge, huge turning point, and that really helped me to shape what being real and authentic is. I embarked on a mental wellness journey. Of course, I'm in a seek therapy, and now I had to stay alive. And yeah, it was also at that juncture where I got to learn about distinction. I got to meet so many business owners who were in it together with me. There was no reason why I should not keep going. Yeah. And I guess the next biggest stumbling block I will have to admit will be now. Like this year, I know, learning that last year we earned 100K less. And then this year, there is just so much to, call team members in out. How can I grow my numbers? How can I be accountable to myself, to my family now, to my team? Am I really cut out for this? Sometimes it haunts me. It screams at me, like, man, you're not cut out for business one. You're not ruthless. You're not lethal. You're not heartless. You think you care too freaking much. You can't do this. Business owners cannot care so much, and you just absolute numbers. What gives you the best numbers and what not? This person not working, fire, that kind of thing. Like, so there are a lot of things that I fight inside and on the outside. Yeah. Now and 2020 and end of years these two are the toughest periods so far in the business.
Oh.
Yeah.
First and foremost, man, thanks for sharing this. I think it takes a lot of courage to actually share this, and at the same time, I think you have to relive a little bit of those memories just now. But nonetheless, I think, as you mentioned, I think there was a huge trailer which came out of nowhere, as you mentioned. I always believe in this, that sometimes the hardest struggles actually, it always happens for a reason. But I have this crazy feeling that it kind of prepares you for something better in the future. So I hope, for whatever it's worth, it creates a tougher, more brilliant, and wonderful version of you. For you to actually enjoy the next phase, business, of life and everything, that every good that has to offer to you. So yeah, I wish that the best for you. Actually, on a side note, this may not come out, but what I remember of first time I ever contacted you, right, was actually because of this incident.
It was.
Yeah. So I've never spoken to you before. I've never met you in person before, actually. So until I heard about this thing which happened, I was like, oh shit, man. How can someone go through this, no? And then I don't know you, so I'm like, but if I were to contact you, how? You're like, what will this person think of me? Like, who's this guy? And then suddenly telling us, saying something about it, right? Then I thought about it for a few days. Then I realized I cannot, because I keep thinking about it. I think it's a massive, massive, massive thing, lah. So then I texted you. I said, okay, I'm just going to text you. Just going to say, look, I heard about what happened. I mean, you're a member in this institution as well, like me, but I'm always not there, because of my health and all that, right? But listening to this, I think I got hit by maybe a smaller van in that sense, but I felt really bad, and I just wanted you to know that, whatever it is, please don't feel like giving up, or don't feel like this is the end or something, because there's always something better, Yeah, that was the first time.
Sound familiar.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever
Yes.
had a conversation with you in that sense, Yeah, so I think that's how I remember you, Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it doesn't sound uncharacteristic of you, and it rings a bell, to be honest. And I think so that's why I say like the gratitude, the immense gratitude that I have, for people who have reached out at that juncture. Some people didn't know how to, anyways.
Yeah.
It takes courage as well, to send a message like that. And yeah, I think a sincere heart will beget a sincere heart. Mm, I am more than willing, because of what I feel like I have received, give, and someone gave you before, you are paying this forward, and rest assured I will also pay this love, this sincerity, and this authenticity forward to my community and people who have come into our midst, our clients and our collaborators.
What was the what's your, like, is it mental fortitude or is it community spirit? What was it that you felt actually helped you to overcome that episode? And also maybe what you're going through now, in terms of like realizing, hey, my business shrunk a little bit, right? So how do you overcome this?
I think the fact that, so having a supportive community where whilst the business was growing, was in the first year, right? There were a lot of people I could turn to. That's number one. And number two, it was also, I think, there's in Chinese there's this 天时地利人和, like time, place, 人和, and opportunity, like it was the right time, it was the right opportunity at the right place as well, because it, like, doing events when it was revenge spending, let's do a solid good event. Like, the business was picking up so fast at that juncture. I probably had no time, so I'm quite grateful that my therapy sessions were still consistent. If there was anything at all, I mean, subliminally I knew that if I didn't do something I'm earning adult money so that I can do adult things, i.e., pay for my own therapy, pay for my own wellness, right? So it was a good time also for me to refocus on something that created value. So I remember, like, it's still one of the pin posts on my Instagram, that, like, I did a recollection post on May 3rd of 2021. 1 year into incorporation. I told myself that I just set a target for myself. I was 31 in 2021. So I told myself, never mind, I just want 31 hosting jobs, 31 singing jobs. Can already. Yeah, like, just start small, right? But I recall counting all the hosting jobs. Music, in the singing jobs, I was still a little shy. I think it was 20 something, 26 or something. But the number of hosting jobs that I managed to bring in and also share in my community, it was 129. Right? Yeah, it was 4 times the wish list, and it was, yeah, it was it was crazy times, to be honest.
You totally smashed it.
Oh shucks, I don't know whether did I blur out the timeline. Maybe it was 2021 year end that disaster struck. It wasn't 2020. Because I remember this recollection post, the ex actually got reposted. So yeah, it's probably 2021 year end. So it was 1 year plus into the business, and yeah, it was the second year that was revenge spending. So the first year it was slowly, steadily expanding, but the second year, and that was when right smack after shit or disaster happened in 2022 early. But yeah, that was when work sustained me and kept me going. I might have blurred out the dates already. Yeah, but it's behind me lah.
Cool. Last about this part, right? If you could go back in time and talk to Vanessa of the past, yeah, what would you tell yourself? And which Vanessa is this? Which timeline? Yeah, what's the message to that? To that Vanessa of yours?
I remember that I think it was last year there was this talk to your 18-year-old self trend. Right? So 18 years old was like almost like 15 years ago, 20 years ago kind of thing. So I've absolutely grown so much from where I was then. Like, if I had told myself I'll be a business owner at that juncture, I might not have believed it. But if I were to rewind time just within the business, only of the business, right? It's a struggle, to be honest, because like during COVID was when a lot of my entertainer friends, right? Because there was nothing much to do, right? So that there was a lot of engagement. They spend solid good time doing engagement with their community online. So they became influencers. They really launched a music career, etc. I don't even have my TikTok account. I was staying with him then. It was not I didn't feel like it was right for me to be singing to a phone, to be talking to a phone in somebody else's house. Yeah. I remember trying to sing once because back then there was this app called Party. Like, you just sing with people, random people online. People will open rooms and then you just sing and whatnot. A lot of people's careers launched then. But I remember joining once into one room. I hid in the cupboard already. But still I was told, hey, it's too loud, shut it off, kind of thing. Yeah, so I never got my TikTok account started. Even up to now, it remains a very big regret. So if I were to turn back time to like right smack COVID, if I knew that I was not gonna be a daughter-in-law, then I would have just sing my heart, like, don't care. I mean, I have just launched a career then and whatnot. But yeah, I might not have, frankly, started the company. Yeah, if I had just focused on me building my brand Songbird MC event, for example, on singing, on hosting, things could be very different right now. But I think this, like, I got to know this philanthropist entrepreneur last year who has been tirelessly giving to charity. The charity events that she does, 100% of the profits goes to the Red Cross children's side, young children. So like it really, really inspired me. I had a dialogue with her as we got to know each other better. She reiterated that many people have skills, but when you combine skills with purpose, that's what she sees me and MYO doing. Yeah. I did not just start MYO per chance. It's not an easy thing that was done, that I chose to do. But the immense value that was created at certain junctures, I had friends, coming to tell me. So it is a fact that events is, people are very concerned now about like spending too much money or excessively on events and whatnot. I am not distributing jobs as much as I would love to. I'm working very hard on it. Whenever a pitch comes in, I don't just pitch myself. I pitch whoever that I think would be a good fit, very fairly and squarely, and then the client would choose I will always remind them, pick the personality that you think would fit the event best. So it's not about myself anymore. It's really about everybody else giving a fair chance, right? And using our company's portfolio to give quality, to give assurance that the management of things, not a problem. You just pick whoever you think is going to be a best fit. We will be curating the program, we'll be curating this person's presence and what this person does at your event as well. That's the the assurance of quality that MYO will give you. You are a collaborator now. The MYO experience is for collaborators and client alike. So I take some of my clients as collaborators. We co-create this together. And of course, my team, our talents, they are all our collaborators. So if I were to be reminded that it's all about mission and value creation, then that is my reason to continue giving, growing, disrupting as much as I can. I am just not I'm not the best with numbers. I am not the smartest. I do often wonder sometimes that, like, when the any kind of a business, when the little monster comes out, I am well aware of my weaknesses. And hence, I'm all the more grateful for my collaborators, people who trust in me to give me chances to grow. And know that I will not allow myself to fail you. I won't fail my collaborators. And because of that, I will push myself so hard. A little too hard sometimes. So I'm learning the fine balance also. But if I were to go back time and talk to, I would tell the Van then, you are gonna go through huge amount of shit. Mountains so hard to climb. But hold true to your initial purpose and keep trudging on. Yeah, I'm standing at a mountain that's way higher than where I was back then. And it seems like the only way is up. I cannot come, but I need to know sometimes that I can take shade under the big pine tree and rest a while sometimes. Yeah.
So if you're a business owner and you're watching the podcast, if you feel at any point in time that you need someone to just go through with you what's happening in your business, see what needs to be improved, give you some pointers, or at the same time maybe plan your next 3 years ahead of you, do feel free to contact me, right, and book a session with me, inshallah. I'll see you. Bye bye. Just now you mentioned something very interesting, that you feel like sometimes you care too much. As a business owner, maybe you shouldn't care so much. You should be more like a bit more cutthroat and just go for the numbers, right? But what I feel, it's the business owners that really care a lot. They are the ones who actually go all the way. They are the ones who do not die so easily. So I think you should just keep with your purpose. You should keep in alignment with your beliefs. And as you mentioned just now, like it's a difficult journey, right? But you acknowledge it, and your advice to your earlier self is to keep on going. I think this is really good advice. At the same time, it shows that your true self is someone who doesn't easily give up. And I think that's one of the real indicators of a successful person, So that's just my take lah. I hope you never ever feel like whatever is difficult is good enough to knock me down, because it's not worth it lah. You're Vanessa, you should really push yourself. Yeah. All right, I want to ask you a little bit about mindset and a bit of advice lah. Okay. So this is, we call the segment golden words. Yeah. So here I want to ask you that, sometimes along the way, through what we have been through, right, in business and all that, our mindset towards money and towards growth would change.
Yeah.
Has it changed for you? And if so, how?
Mindset towards, I think the easier of the two between mindset and money is, growth and the mindset about growth or money. Growth is something that cannot stop. This mindset, like if I were to just stay stagnant, and I already know quite a lot of things already lah. I don't strive for improvement, right? I can, number one, never be a good enough, a real authentic enough role model for my associates or the people that are working with us, right? Like if I would just be a dinosaur and don't adopt AI practice, best practices and all, it does not make sense. So growth mindset is an absolute must. If just like I mentioned, I might not fire, I am not capable of, producing numbers, get out kind of thing. But if a person really is turning into cancer, for example, no growth mindset, pulling everybody's morale down, then please be on your merry way. Yeah. So still wanting to grow is extremely important, because I do not want your negative energy to affect affect me or people around me. But my mindset towards money, Actually, I used to joke with my friends last night, and my secondary school friends, they are still laughing at me about it. Like Van used to say, "Oh, I don't have much, but I have money." Like I used to say in Chinese lah, like 什么都不多 I don't have much of a lot of things. 最多就是钱 like, you know, like, but I have a lot of money. That kind of thing. So it is the mindset of abundance came from my mom. Like my dad was not present when I was growing up. My mom raising me and my sister, not easy at all. She has had to work very tirelessly. We are also part of the Singapore. Back then we were called Singapore Soka Association. Now it's Soka Gakkai Singapore. So like she was very actively trying to, you know, create value at work and at our Soka community, right? So she barely had time for us. So, but she has, despite not having abundance, she was extremely generous. She would give, even if people want to take advantage of her, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah. So I remember when, so my ex then, like, I paid for the down payment of the car. My accountant sister, my sister's an accountant, did I tell you before? Yeah, my accountant sister, now she has changed portfolio, but then she was an auditor accountant, right? She was like, no, take the car back. You pay for it. Right? So the agreement back then was that I pay down payment, he will settle the monthly installments. No, I end up paying a lot of monthly installments also. But anyway, long story super short, he said that the Grab money that I saved you over the past 3-4 years should be enough to offset the down payment.
Oh.
Let's clap for him. Yeah. So like my mother said, I asked her, then what, my sister asked, or I asked, like, then what about the car? She says, it does not matter. Give it to him, you come back. That was the confidence that she had. Money, never mind. If you cut away money, you can unshackle yourself from a toxic environment, you come back. So I think like I've always said that Chinese statement, right? I'm not like about money I got a lot, but it's not really because I really got damn a lot of money, but it's I would love to not sweat the small stuff. You know, like if I have to give, if my family needs something, I have realized that I'm extremely generous because of my mom to my family, to people I love and all. I'm a bit more stingy with myself. Yeah. So my mindset about money, I've always needed to make sure that there's value in whatever that I purchase for myself. And I'm so trying to rub it off my husband now lah. Yeah. So like he is also very generous, non-calculative. But if two persons come together, super generous, super non, cannot lah. One person must be the, are you sure? This one maybe not kind of person. So my mindset about money has always been, it has to have value. Same as my, I guess, principle in life lah, about value creation.
Amazing. Can you maybe also share one really good piece of advice for young entrepreneurs out there who probably are starting business now? They are also feeling, you know, some discomfort or challenges. What can you tell them? Maybe any advice? At the same time, anything that to you is important that they should also, like, you know, pay attention to.
I think growing up, I'm very influenced by my mentor in life, Dr. Daisaku Ikeda. He was the third president of Soka Gakkai International. So it's bound by my faith as well. I mean, he was my mentor. He has shared before, you know, that, you know, this phrase that he uses very often to encourage youths, encourage all of us, is the darker the night, the nearer the dawn. Like no matter how dark, this is just the principle of life. Winter will always turn to spring. The darker the night, the nearer, the closer you are to dawn. So when you are at your bitterest, your darkest, your toughest, you are potentially one sleep away from spring arriving, from daylight breaking, for example. So please don't be afraid to ask for help. I think a lot of real, authentic, true business owners who has been through hell and shit, they will be very happy to help you out, hear you out, help you out, and not see that you have to, as in, not see personally, like guide you into the hell pit, the fire pit, right? So, but of course, I think, as I mentioned, the alignment is very important. To also have that awareness and that sense, if a person is not quite sincere, every engagement is about, like, how can I milk something out of you? You really gotta have the awareness to snip or to associate yourself with people who bring you hope. And I've long told Faz also that, like, every single one-to-one session, if it's a half an hour catch up, I'm quite shameless sometimes. I extend coaches time 45 minutes sometimes, right? Like, like, I always end up feeling hopeful. And I think it was only last year or like early this year, I rarely receive such comments like, Ben, stop. You need to stop. I think there were a couple of times where the spiraling was bad. The I really can't do business monster was like really chewing at me already. And that was when Pops would come in. So that day's session would not be about choosing hope. That day's session will be about smacking the heck out of all this nonsense that's causing a spiral. Yeah. So I think associating yourself with people that brings you light and hope will be extremely important as well. So be discerning lah. Yeah. I mean, I'm fortunate I found a good community. Explore and find out like what will suit you best, and keep your allies close lah.
I think that's great advice, right? So I think for business owners out there, if you're, like starting out first year of business, stressed is normal, right? I think it's very important to be in a circle of other business owners as well. Importantly is be with people who actually have been through a few more steps ahead of you, if possible, so that you can use them as a reference point. You can get advice which is real world based. At the same time, be with people who are sincere, as you mentioned, because people who are sincere, they don't have any hidden agenda, or they don't want to profit from you in any way, right? So it'll be great if you actually plant yourself within a community of like-minded business owners, and do not be afraid to be vulnerable if you need to, and ask for help. I think it's great advice, Vanessa. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think we've come to the end of the road. Is there any message you wanna mention before we close?
No, I mean, partaking in this podcast has allowed me a trip down memory lane. Think about things that usually it's so deep or it's so far behind supposedly already, but it is the road that you have traveled that shaped me into who I am today. Yeah. Acknowledging that the little monster will come out sometimes, like spiraling would happen sometimes. And yeah, to remember also at such times where, it's dark all over. It's the darkest part of the night already. That there's a comforting, warm voice that says that, hey, anytime you can come to me. And that's what Faz always tells me at the end of our sessions. I want to be a person like that. I want to be a person that my team, my community feels safe, my clients feel safe enough to tell me, that, yeah, I have a shoulder big enough, I have a heart that's warm enough to support them through a difficult period. Yeah, I want to be a person like that, and I'll pay for it, whatever that I've learned from Faz.
Cool.
Big love.
Awesome. So guys, remember, behind every successful business is a story told through numbers. And today you've heard from Vanessa from MYO Entertainment. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, this one I just want to ask you if you would like to actually look into the camera.
Oh, shucks, I've been looking at the camera a lot.
Yeah, this one is going to be one message to whoever you choose, but if you can mention that person's name.
Whoever I choose to be the next person?
No.
Oh.
To basically say thanks to that person
for
being instrumental part of your journey thus far.
What?
So it could be because
But I've called you a lot of times already.
oh no, not me. I mean, like
Somebody
maybe,
else.
yeah, it could be your mom, for being there for you, despite whatever that you went through. It could be your husband, it could be whoever lah you choose. You can mention the person's name if you like. And we put it in, special message to so and so. Okay, boleh?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, quick.
Yeah, so for a special person in my life, I think I've mentioned how much of a pillar of support my husband is, how much a rock my mother is, and how grateful I am for a coach like Faz. But I think the other person that I really need to say a lot of thank yous and love. I mentioned this on my wedding as well, that my sister has been instrumental in my life because of the facts. Because, maybe as an accountant, there are some things that's absolute one. Like, if it's not balanced, I must get even. So like she has been there for me. There are some things I feel like I can't tell my mom because I'm worried about how she'll react. But actually, frankly, she's strong enough. I'm pretty sure. I just don't want her to be disappointed. But I feel like I can tell my sister, and I would really love for my sister to know that I have her back as well. And she can come to me regardless, with no judgment. And I would be your sister for many, many lifetimes, over and over again. And she's Fox the Phoenix. I have a present for her that I forgot to bring on my wedding, but on your birthday this year, I will pass it to you. Love you.
So, thank you, Vanessa.
Bye.
That's a wrap.
I'm done.